Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. So if you're a focused learner trying to wrap your head around the mechanics of Web3 data economies, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're taking a really deep dive into the engine of what is literally a revolutionary decentralized human intelligence marketplace. It's called Codatta. We're going to break down its economic framework, figure out how value actually flows through the ecosystem, and look super closely at the utility of its native token XNY. All right, let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Just to ground ourselves right out of the gate, what exactly is Codatta? Put simply, it's a decentralized knowledge protocol that powers a human intelligence marketplace. Think of it as this unique space where human effort, sourcing and verifying data, meets the exact needs of enterprise clients and AI models. And the whole shebang is orchestrated securely, right on the blockchain.
Here is a quick look at our roadmap for today. First, the human intelligence marketplace. Second, ecosystem roles at a glance. Third, XNY, the operating currency. Fourth, following the economic flow. And finally, number 5, essential token information.
Section 1. The Human Intelligence Marketplace.
So traditional data marketplaces often struggle with, honestly, massive friction, whether we're talking about trust issues, quality control, or just terrible payment bottlenecks. Well, Codatta acts as the ultimate engine to solve this through a pretty delicate balancing act. It operates as a knowledge protocol that balances a strict native utility token, which mathematically forces trust, with highly flexible real-world settlements. It's like taking the absolute cryptographic security of Web3 and merging it seamlessly with the practical accounting needs of everyday businesses.
Moving on to Section 2, Ecosystem Roles at a Glance.
To really grasp how this engine works, we're going to trace a single piece of data as it interacts with 4 key participants. And it all kicks off with the providers. If you're a data provider, you start by staking XNY tokens. Putting your own skin in the game like this unlocks access to premium tasks like data sourcing and labeling. You do the work, and in return, you earn payouts across multiple assets. Plus, and this is huge, you retain the right to ongoing royalties whenever your data gets reused down the line.
Let's move to our second group and see how this builds. Once a provider submits data, it absolutely has to be checked by the validators. Now, validators also build their reputation by staking XNY to increase the credibility of their decisions. They earn validation fees just for keeping the system honest. But there's a catch. If a validator is inaccurate or tries to game the system, they risk slashing. It's essentially like losing a very expensive security deposit. They forfeit a chunk of their staked tokens. Then, working behind the scenes, we have the backers. These guys are the financial support system. They stake XNY to essentially sponsor or underwrite specific cohorts of contributors or even entire datasets. Now, because they take on the financial risk to bootstrap this data, they get to share in the creator earnings and royalties. However, if that data fails to meet quality service level agreements, while the backers face those exact same slashing penalties right alongside the creators.
And finally, we reach the consumption end of the pipeline, the clients. If you're an enterprise client, you use the platform to access data, hit APIs, or license datasets. You'll use XNY to launch these tasks, secure priority routing in the marketplace, and ultimately manage the rights to the data you're actually purchasing.
All right, Section 3. XNY, the operating currency. And this really illustrates the core insight of the whole protocol. This is where we hit that crucial aha moment regarding how token utility maximizes both trust and adoption. It's the passport versus the paycheck. Think of XNY as your passport. You absolutely need it for platform access, minting rights, paying gas, and staking. It's the control currency. But on the flip side is the paycheck. Contributor payouts can actually be made in stablecoins like USDT or highly liquid assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum. A native token enforces the network rules, right? While stablecoins provide the low-friction rewards that businesses actually want for their accounting.
Now, looking at this diverse mix of crypto assets, a very logical question pops up. Is this actually compliant for regulated clients who are operating under strict legal and financial constraints?
The answer is a definitive yes. Codatta is built as an enterprise-ready Web3 project from the ground up. Privacy proofs and compliance fees, those are handled seamlessly in XNY on the back end. Furthermore, the protocol maintains robust audit logs and supports revocable licenses, which perfectly aligns with the strict red tape you usually find in highly regulated sectors.
Section 4. Following the economic flow.
Let's map out exactly how value moves across the ecosystem.
Now, what's really interesting here is how everything anchors around XNY, while still allowing for that settlement flexibility we talked about. Whether you're a participant paying protocol gas or a client paying for a task launch, you pay in XNY, which flows directly to validators, the treasury, and marketplace ops. But consider contributor payouts. Clients fund this, but it can be denominated in XNY, USDT, Bitcoin, or Ethereum. The protocol then automatically routes and splits those funds directly to the providers, validators, and backers seamlessly.
With all this value flowing around, quality control is absolutely paramount. So you might be wondering, who exactly bears the slashing risk in this economic model if something goes wrong?
Well, the ecosystem uses financial stakes as a rigorous shield against bad data. Contributors, meaning providers, validators, and backers, along with any disputing parties that post a bond, they bear the slashing risk. If poor quality or fraud is detected, their staked tokens are penalized. Slashing isn't just an empty threat, it's the hard-coded financial reality that enforces uncompromising honesty across the entire network.
On the flip side of those penalties, though, are the long-term rewards. Let's look at one final, quick question about the economic flow. How exactly do data royalties work for the contributors?
This is the true beauty of Codatta's automated royalty hooks. The value of your work doesn't just end with a one-time payment. No way. Whenever licensed data is reused, say an enterprise using a dataset for ongoing AI model training, smart contracts automatically route ongoing payouts to the eligible contributors and backers. Your data literally generates lasting passive value.
Section 5. Essential token information.
We've covered all the theory, so let's look at the hard metrics. The absolutely crucial point here is the maximum on-chain supply. XNY is strictly capped at 10 billion tokens. This hard cap is a vital metric for understanding the token's long-term economic scarcity. Here is a super quick run-through of the official specs. The ticker is obviously XNY, functioning as a BEP20 standard token. Now, while the only live network it operates on right now is the BNB Smart Chain, expansion is already on the horizon for Base, Ethereum, and Avalanche. And of course, you can track real-time token metrics right now on major aggregators like CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. Now, I really want to emphasize an incredibly important safety detail straight from the official documentation. Always verify you're interacting with the correct contract. The only live token contract today is on the BNB Smart Chain. Please don't get fooled by fakes anywhere else. Furthermore, just to ensure long-term ecosystem stability, a supplier contract currently locks 75% of the token allocation. We've seen how Codatta seamlessly blends the strict cryptographic trust of XNY with the totally frictionless reality of multi-asset payouts. It protects quality through slashing and rewards longevity through automated royalties. So I'll leave you with this. With XNY acting as the ultimate passport for trust and access, how will this human intelligence marketplace reshape the future of decentralized data? It's a genuinely fascinating ecosystem, and I highly encourage you to explore it further. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.